welcome to the program. My guests today are Don Parenti, the Assistant Vice President of Technical Sales, Global Technology Office for AT&T Public Sector. Don, welcome to the program.
Thanks, Jason.
Gary Langston, the Director of Strategy and Solutions for AT&T Public Sector. Gary, welcome to the discussion.
Thank you.
And Carl Teagan, the Assistant Vice President for Defense Segment for AT&T Public Sector. Carl, welcome as well.
Good to be here, Jason.
One of the things that we're hearing a lot about, not just in the military, but I think across all sectors, is the move to 5G. There's a lot of excitement around it, a lot of expectation for it. So that puts AT&T right in the middle. And why there's so much excitement, and what does it mean for the Army?
5G creates a tremendous increase in throughput and low latency, which enables applications and services that we haven't even dreamed of yet. So there's a number of things, like you mentioned, video, that require that low latency and throughput that 5G can deliver. But it's just a game changer in terms of capability.
You mentioned the term edge computing. Why don't you maybe define that a little bit further?
So instead of sending data back to a cloud location, a data center, miles and miles away, where it's got to traverse fiber for hundreds of miles, some applications cannot tolerate that. You got to get there quick. So there's a trend now to put the computing out at the edge of the network, and you only take the data back as far as you need to in order to deliver the desired result in that application.
And 5G is important because that's what the data will ride on, if you will.
Correct. So from the actual sensor or device to wherever it needs to be computed is where you want to put the edge computing capability.
And from a DoD perspective and Army perspective, what about is so attractive to the Army?
For several reasons, right? We talked about the performance benefits in terms of latency, in terms of speed, but also the way 5G is designed, and there's this concept of network slicing that's built into 5G networks. You can actually condition the mobile network differently depending on what you want to do on it. So, in today's mobile networks, sometimes it's challenging to do IoT on a network that's really designed for smartphones, right? You certainly couldn't run smartphones on a low bandwidth network. Where you start looking at 5G, there's so much more control where you can divide the network up and condition it. Do I need a lot of small devices with low bandwidth or fewer devices that use a lot of bandwidth? The way in which you set up the network, the way in which you surround it with the right network functions, 5G lends itself to that. It makes it a lot easier to handle those different types of workloads. So it's really critical, both for us as a carrier, but also it's going to enable so much for the end user.